Anderson, and welcome to another episode of What's Up Downtown A-Town. This is the show where we talk about new businesses and existing businesses in the downtown area, and we talk about what they're up to. And today we have Eliot Reed from Park Place Arts with us, and so we're very excited about that.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being
Sure.
here. Tell us a little bit about Park Place Arts, and I want to start from the very beginning.
Okay. Well, as of June 1st this year, it'll be 6 years since I opened, and I've always been interested in arts, specifically art galleries and putting on exhibits and designing exhibits. And I also worked as a picture framer in college, so I had some background in picture framing. And so I found a little building in Park Place, which is the neighborhood I grew up in, went to elementary school in. Actually, it's about a 130-year-old building right on the
I
8th
love
Street
it,
drag
yeah.
there. And it was formerly a real estate office, and went in, and my dad and Jason Knapp, who's another local artist here in town, and I spent about 6 months remodeling it. We tore out the drop ceilings, we took a wall out, we pulled up all the carpet to expose the wood floors, took out some windows, changed it around a little bit, opened it up. And so now it's about 1,000 feet of gallery space, and then I have an office kind of layout room and then a workshop room there too, and it backs right up to the Blue Bridge right on the river there, so it's a great little location.
It is a beautiful location, and we were talking before we started filming that you did go to Park Place Elementary School.
Yeah, Park Place Elementary School. I grew up in Park Place Church, and then I ended up going to AU after that, so I spent a first 20 some years of my life in that neighborhood.
Right. Well, I followed the same thing. I grew up in Park Place, went to Park Place Elementary, then to AU,
Yep.
and so have stayed put as well. So
Nice.
that's awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great little neighborhood.
It is.
Yeah.
It is great. And I'm excited to watch as it continues to grow. So I know there's some things happening right now down the road from you that I'm just anxiously anticipating
Me
what
too.
happens with
Me
that.
too. That's
so.
a great little drag, and when we were
It
growing up,
is.
there was a lot of stuff going on in that area,
Yes.
and hopefully it'll return to that one
Yes,
of these
I
days.
agree. And McIntyre's jewelry, I still go there all the time.
Sure.
And you walk in there, and it's like walking back into your
It is.
childhood.
Yeah.
I love it
Yeah,
there.
it's great. We had the old soda fountain, the old parking
Right.
down there, the Nile. I remember when the
Yes.
Nile came in.
Yes, wasn't that the
Yeah.
big deal?
Oh, it was.
The Nile's coming.
That's right. That's right.
That
Yeah.
was a very big deal.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah, very good memories down there. So you have a gallery, as you mentioned, and you have a lot of exhibits, and then you also have a frame shop,
That's right.
and you do your own photography as well.
That's right. Yeah, I started taking pictures when I was in high school. I was in the public schools. I took a photography class and kind of caught the bug from there,
Yeah.
and have continued doing that for now over 20 years, mainly landscape photography. I like to travel all over the country. I've checked off 49 states. I still lack Hawaii,
Wow.
but that's the only one. And I'm really into national parks and Native American areas, and so I like to go out west or down in the southeast areas and photograph the national parks or indigenous lands, things like that, mounds areas like we
Sure.
have here. Yeah, so that's kind of what got me into the art scene, and then going to exhibits, having a lot of artists that are friends that are artists, seeing different museums, different gallery spaces. I thought I could do that. That'd be cool, and it's something I think Anderson needed at the time, to have a small kind of independent gallery that wasn't subject to a board or other stipulations that larger museums or galleries are. So I can just exhibit whoever I want, and they're mainly local artists. I try to stay as local as possible, and it's been incredible over the last 6 years what kind of art people are producing in their basements or in their garage or spare bedroom. We've got a lot of talented people.
Yeah, and people
in
don't even
town.
know.
That's right. That's right. And it's free to the public. I don't charge any admission, so you can come in anytime, check out the exhibits, come to the frame shop, full custom frame shop, all our archival materials, so we can get it preserved for you and get you
That's
out the
great,
door
too.
and on your wall. Yeah,
That's wonderful.
sure.
What I was most impressed by, we were there the other day for a First Friday event, was just how stunning of a gallery it is.
Well, thank you.
I was going to ask if the wood floors were original.
I'm not sure if they're original to the 1889 building, but I did nothing to them other than pull the carpet and pad up and
Really?
spend a day and a half pulling staples out with pliers and that kind of thing. But yeah, the floors are probably at least 50 or 60 years old. The ceilings I replaced with a corrugated tin ceiling to give it a little bit of a more contemporary feel. I installed track lighting. So did a little electrical work, and that main gallery room that the exhibit is in currently, that was split in two. So I did take out a 10-foot lath and plaster wall out of that and repaired the floors, and so made that a room that's about 13 by 26. So it's a larger room with a high ceiling. So it gives the really able to do a lot with that space in terms of size or three-dimensional pieces or large tall walls for different pieces. So it's really been pretty versatile and worked pretty well so far.
Well, let's talk about what exhibits you have had there.
Well, we've had, probably 15 or 20 different exhibits over the last 6 years, anywhere from 2 or 3 different local photography exhibits to Stephanie Cochran, who's a local sculptor. She's a glass artist, and she did a lot of glass insects and articulating spiders and mosquitoes and all kinds of things.
That was amazing.
It was. They were ants crawling up the wall, mosquitoes hanging from the ceiling. It was a really neat exhibit.
Neat.
We've done textile exhibits, so local quilters or people that are into crochet or knitting, and we exhibited that. We had an exhibit completely based on Mounds Park and the White River at one point. So we've really had quite a variety of exhibits over the years, which has been neat and been really cool to meet all the different people that are producing things in Anderson.
I'm sure. What was your favorite exhibit out of all those?
It's a tough one. The current one right now is
that's amazing.
Is pretty spectacular. Yeah, the Cherokee Southeastern Woodlands beadwork. That was one of the more interesting ones to put together. I have a real interest in Native American culture, specifically in this area, Madison County. And so that one really tied in with my interest, so that was a fun one to put together. The White River one was fun too. We had a lot of people from Muncie participate in that one. I think 20 to 25 different artists participate in that one.
Wow.
So it's interesting to do ones that are more like calls for submissions, because you get a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds and a vast variety of mediums. So we had everything from weaving to painting to music to video, sculpture in that White River show. So that was a fun one to put together.
That's really
too.
neat.
Yeah.
So talk about the current exhibit, like you were saying.
So,
it is amazing.
Yeah, the current exhibit is by an artist named Carolyn Pallett. She's a local artist here. She's a registered member of the Cherokee Nation in Oklahoma, and she makes bandolier bags, small deerskin purses, moccasins, ceremonial belts, and they're all beaded using period materials from the time period in which she is working, which is late 19th, early 20th century. So they're using check glass beads, animal hides, British wool, Chinese silk, all what the indigenous people at that time period would have had access to via trade routes. And it is incredible work, extremely intricate, extremely time consuming. I think she can make about 2, maybe 3 of those bags a year.
That's what I was going to mention. That's what I think most fascinated by is her attention to detail, and she, I mean, it took forever to do one piece of this. These are a labor of love for her.
And the meaning behind all the symbols and the design that she uses, they're all Cherokee. It's all Cherokee symbology and design work. The colors are meaningful. They have certain types of meaning in them. It's the way they're interpreted. It's really complex what she's working on with her beadwork and the detail and intricacy of her work. It's worth seeing. Stop by. 2 more weeks it's going to be up.
And that's what I was going to ask. So do your exhibits run for how many weeks usually?
Typically I like them to run for 4 to 6 weeks. That gives people enough time, I feel like, to stop through if they want. I like them to span 2 First Fridays, so people get an opportunity. If they can't hit all the stops on a First Friday, then maybe they can catch me the next time
That's a
around.
great idea.
Yeah, and a little less of the panic to get another exhibit up on the walls too, when they can span a little bit, because it is a lot of work designing these exhibits, getting everything lined up, labeling everything, doing the wall tags, writing all the descriptions, the artist statements. There's a lot that goes into each individual exhibit and the design and planning of it.
Well, and that's something we don't think about often.
Right.
That all of those small details that go into the next exhibit.
And in my interpretation, that makes all the difference, because people need to understand what they're looking at. They can think it looks cool or like the colors or this, that, and the other. But yeah, exactly. Adding context to it is extremely beneficial for the whole experience. And I want people to learn something and develop an appreciation for what they're looking at too, for what people locally are creating.
Right. Do you offer workshops?
We do. We do a lot of painting classes. Well, I should say sessions. We don't like to call them classes because we do a judgment-free zone. It's not about your ability or your experience. It's about trying something new, being creative. We like to base all of our painting sessions on existing artists or artists from the past. So either stylistically or in terms of color palette, brush stroke, however you want to think about it. We try to bring those things to the fore and give people a little more understanding of art history and kind of the techniques that go along with that. So it's not, everybody's painting doesn't turn out the same. You're free to choose colors, to choose your composition, and it really is, it makes for a cool experience at the end when you look at everybody's painting and they're all completely different. That's when we know we've done what we're trying to do. Yeah.
So you don't have to have a skill set of any particular level to go into.
Yeah, we supply all the materials. I have Melody Carr is our usual teacher there in the studio. She's a elementary school art teacher here in the public school system. So she's used to teaching small people, so she can handle adult people well too. But really, any age group we encourage to come and check it out. We've also done a beading workshop just last week in conjunction with Carolyn Show. Yeah. She led that workshop, and we'll probably do another one of those in the fall because it's so time consuming. They tend to be longer, like 3-hour workshops. Wow. Because of the detail, and she goes through the history and the technique of the Cherokee beadwork. And we've done some other different kinds of workshops along the way too that make it fun.
That's great. So if somebody wants to find out more about the gallery, or if they want to have some framing done, where can they reach you? You
can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also at parkplacearts.com. So we kind of got all the social media things covered. We have a schedule of upcoming events and current events on the website, as well as workshops coming. I work in tandem now with Five's Tap Room, so we do a painting class there one Sunday a month, every month.
Okay, I thought I saw that on your website, and I didn't know what that meant. Yeah. Okay, so you go out there and
so we travel a lot. Recently, I've been traveling to other places to do these painting sessions. So we do them at Five's every Sunday, and that includes all material. We bring everything to you. Melody comes, teaches the class. They offer a free pint of beer with registration for that. In the off season at Mountains Park, we also do painting in the park, where once a month, December, January, February, and March, we go out there and do a painting session that's based on something in the park. We've painted birds, owls, the mountains scene, White River scene, certain kind of flowers. So we try to gear it towards something that you can find in the park. And that's been a really cool experience working with the park and getting to know the naturalists there. And you get a wider audience there, too. We've had people come from Greenfield, Newcastle, Muncie, that are connected to Mountains Park, and so they come to give painting a shot while we're at the park in the off season.
When we were at the gallery for First Friday, there were so many people there. I was really surprised that the room was filling up quickly, and we were trying to get an interview with you real quick, and I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know if we're going to get this in. Yeah. So do you have regulars that are on a mailing list?
Yeah, I've been compiling a mailing list since I opened. And usually on our opening night for a new exhibit, on the opening reception, it is really well attended. We have usually between 100 and 200 people come through the gallery on those nights. Wow. And then we're open Tuesday through Saturday, noon to 6 Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 2 on Saturdays, and that's the frame shop hours, as well as gallery hours, so you can meander through the 2 different gallery spaces and check out what I have on exhibit, but also come in and get things framed.
Okay, and tell them one more time the address of the gallery.
515 East 8th Street. So it's about 3 buildings from the bottom of the bridge on 8th Street. White building, yellow awnings. And it's right lined up with the Blue Bridge if you're walking over from downtown.
Yeah, and that is a beautiful shot out there. When we were in the parking lot, I was like, oh, look at that. It's so scenic.
Yep, just right on the Riverwalk Trail there. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Good spot.
Yeah, you did find a great building.
Yeah, I lucked out.
Did you look around for a while?
I did look around. I actually stopped to look at the building next door when I was first looking, the old Jerry's Junkatique that was right next door.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I've not thought of that place in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love that place.
That's about twice the size of my current building. And then I saw that building, and it needed less renovation, and it wasn't technically for sale, but I talked to the owners, and we got it worked out.
Good for you. Anderson is lucky to have you.
Well, I
tell
appreciate
you.
that.
And then I also know that part of what you do is conservationism.
That's
I know
right.
That is a very important piece of who you are.
Yeah, it really is. I'm a big river advocate. I'm a big kayaker. Like to fish along the river. Grew up along the river. We talked
Right.
about that earlier. So it's just up the bluff from the river. So as a kid, I spent a lot of time at the river, in and on the river. And so, yeah, I've done a lot of conservation work through Heart of the River Coalition, where we were working to preserve free-flowing river, as well as I write a monthly column for the Herald Bulletin based on conservation ideas and environmentalism.
And that article has been amazing.
Well, thank you. I
I've read
appreciate
it
that.
over and over
It's been a
again.
lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. So, anything else you want to make sure that the viewer knows?
Stop by anytime, Tuesday through Saturday. The frame shop is always open. I haven't found anything yet that I haven't been able to put a frame on, and had some pretty unique things, so I'm up for the challenge if anybody wants to come in. Got something oddball or a little weird, we could probably get it figured out for you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
being
having me. I
here,
appreciate
Eliot.
it.
And Anderson, as usual, thank you for supporting our local business. We'll see you soon.